Good morning, students. Today we are going to see Unit 8, Organization of Life. Students, in this session, we will discuss about Introduction of Organization of Life, Organization of Cells and Tissues, Prokaryotes and Eukaryotes, Biological Levels of Organization, Cell, Tissues, Organ, Structure and Function of Human Eye, and the Respiratory System. These topics are covered in the page number 101 to 108 in our textbook. Let us see one by one. First, introduction. Students, if you look around your school or in your countryside, you will be able to observe numerous varieties of animals, isn't it? Yes. But some animals like amoeba, which cannot be seen in our naked eye because it is very small in size. Similarly, blue whale and elephant, which are of huge in size. The variations are not only seen in size, but also in the complexity of their cells, tissues of the body structure. This is called organization of life. Do you understand, children? What is organization of life? The variations are not only seen in size, but also in the complexity of their cells, tissues of the body structure. This is called organization of life. Biological organization. The biological organization are arranged from cell to organism level. It goes like tissues, organ system and organism. Each of these represents a level of organization. Irrespective of the level, they exhibit and can perform all the life activities like growth, metabolism, reproduction, etc. What is cell? Cell is the basic unit of structure and function in living things. Tissues is nothing but in plants and animals a group of cells that work together to do a specific job. So tissues is nothing but group of cell. Organ is nothing but group of tissues. In an organism, structure made of two or more different tissues which have a specialized function. Example, lungs. What is organ system? Yes, group of organs that work together to do a specific job. Example, digestive system. Organism, that is a living thing. Living thing is nothing but organism. Students, let us learn different level of organization briefly with a suitable example. First, organization of cells and tissues. What is cell? Cell is the smallest structural and functional unit of living organism, and it is capable of performing specific function. It is also known as the building blocks of body. Students, a single-celled organism. Which one is a single-celled organism? Yes, amoeba. So, amoeba are able to carry out all the process of life like higher organism. What is higher organism? Higher organism have billions of cells, but amoeba have a single cell. So, depending upon their cells, they can be divided into two types. Let us see the types of cells. Unicellular and multicellular. What is unicellular? Organisms that are made of only one cell. For example, euglena. Multicellular is nothing but organisms that are made of more than one cell. Do you understand, children? Multicellular example, Daphnia. Uni means one. Cellular means cell. One cell. That is unicellular organism. That organism have only one cell. For example, amoeba, paramecium, like that. These are the animals have only one cell. Multicellular, multi means many, cellular means cell. So, which animal have many cell? That is called multicellular organism. For example, humans, like that. Let us see another examples of unicellular organism. All bacteria have only one cell, that is E. coli, Streptococcus, Halobacteria. Similarly, all protists, amoeba, euglena, paramecium. Some algae, chlorella, chlamydomonas, unicellular fungus, that is yeast. These are the examples of unicellular organism. These organisms have only one cell. So only it is called unicellular organism. Do you follow, children? Next, another examples of multicellular organisms. Multicellular organism means the organism have more than one cell. What are they? Humans, cats, dogs, insects, birds, flowers, mold, trees. These are the examples of multicellular organism. Do you understand, children? Thus, the body has different levels of organization. Cells make up tissues. Tissues make up organs. And organs make up organ system. Finally, we get organism. These are the levels of organization. Next, we move to prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Based on the structural organization, organism can be classified into two types. Which one? Organism. Organism can be classified into two types. What are they? Prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Let us see. Students, in some of the organism like bacteria, cyanobacteria or mycoplasma, no true nucleus is seen. See the picture. This is bacteria, right? This bacteria have plasma membrane and cytoplasm, DNA, nucleoid region and ribosomes, but it does not have nucleus. So, this type of organism called prokaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cell is nothing but the cell does not have nucleus. What about eukaryotic cell? In the cell of amoeba, animals and plants, a well-defined nucleus covered by membrane is seen. This type of organism are called eukaryotes. Do you understand, children? See the picture. Eukaryotic have nucleus, but prokaryotic does not have nucleus. These are the one and only difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Another examples of prokaryotes. Prokaryotes are all single-celled organisms, most of which you know of as bacteria. For example, the famous Escherichia coli bacterium is a prokaryote, as is the Streptococcus bacterium responsible for strep throat. Amoeba, bacteria, paramecium, chlamydomonas, etc. These are the examples of prokaryotes. These organism does not have nucleus. Do you follow, children? Next, examples of eukaryotic cell. What are they? Animals, plants, fungi, that is mushroom, yeast, protist, that is amoeba, algae. These are the examples of eukaryotic cells. These organisms have nucleus. Yes. Next, biological levels of organization. The biological organization shows the hierarchy in organization levels from simplest to more complex. That is, atoms to molecules, molecules to cells, cells to tissues, tissues to organs, organs to organ system to organism, organism to population, population to communities, communities to ecosystem, ecosystem to biosphere. Students, this atom and molecules make up the cells. They are considered as non-living things. What are they? Atoms and molecules are the non-living things because this atom and molecules make up the cell. So from cell to organism, only living things. This population, communities, ecosystem and biosphere are of ecological importance. Hence, we restrict our study from cells to organism. This is the pictorial representation of biological organization. Cell to tissue, tissue to organ, organ to organ system to organism. These are the different levels of organization. Do you understand, children? Next, animal cell. Students, what is cell? Cell is the structural and functional unit of life. Cells are often called building blocks of life. The study of cell is called cell biology. Do you follow, children? Cells consist of cytoplasm enclosed within a membrane. This cytoplasm contains many biomolecules such as protein and nucleic acids present here. Cells vary widely in shapes and size. There is a central spherical nucleus and a variety of cytoplasmic living cell organelles like endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, Golgi bodies, centrioles, ribosome, lysosome, etc. present in an animal cell. Each cell organelle performs a specific function. The size of cells varies in different animals, which are measured in units of micron. So 1 centimeter equal to 10 micron, 1 millimeter equal to 1000 microns. The average cell size varies from 0.5 to 20 micrometer. Cells of bacteria are the smallest in size, that is 1 to 2 micrometer. This is the smallest cell of bacteria. In human body, the smallest cell is red blood cell, that is RBC, 7 micrometer. The longest one is the nerve cell that ranges 90 to 100 centimeter. Human egg, that is ovum, is 100 micrometer in size. Egg of an ostrich, that is 170 millimeter into 180 millimeter. So this is the largest cell. It measures about 170 millimeter into 180 millimeter in diameter. It is about 25,000 times bigger than a red blood cell. So next, smallest bacterium, that is Mycoplasma is a smallest bacterium that ranges 0.001 millimeter. Next, stem cell. Students, do you know about stem cell? Yes. A stem cell is essentially a blank cell capable of becoming another more differentiated cell type in a body, such as nerve cell, liver cell, cardiac cells, blood cells. These are the types of stem cells. They are microscopic in size. Stem cells can be used to replace or even heal the damaged tissues in the body. Note the word, stem cell can be used to replace or even heal the damaged tissues in a body. They can serve as a built-in repair system for the human body, replenishing other cells as long as a person is still alive. See the picture. These are the types of stem cells. No, what are they? Liver cell, blood cells, cardiac cell, nerve cell. These cells are replacing cells, isn't it? Yes. This stem cell can be used to replace the liver cell or blood cell, nerve cell and cortex cell. They can serve as a built-in repair system for the human body. Do you understand, children? Next, different shapes and size of some cells. Cells are of different shape. Normally, they are correlated with their functions. Some cells are oval or round, while certain others are elongated. Some cells are long and pointed at both ends. They exhibit a spindle shape. Cells are sometimes quite long. Some are branched like the nerve cell or a neuron. Some of our white blood cell are amoeba like with irregular boundaries. See the picture. This is a shape of red blood cell. This is columnar epithelial cell. This is the shape of ovum cell. Smooth muscle cell, bone cell. This is the branched shape, no? This is the sperm cell. This is the nerve cell. These are the different shapes of cells. Do you understand, children? Next, cell differentiation. Our body is developed from a single cell called zygote. The zygote undergoes continuous mitotic division and forms the fetus consisting multitude of cells of different shape, size and content. Fertile cells gradually attain change in structure and function. Which cell? Fertile cell. This type of cell change the structure and function. This process is known as cell differentiation. So the single cell form the zygote. Zygote is the important one formation of our body. So the zygote undergoes continuous meiotic division. So let us see the formation of zygote. The formation of zygote is from cell to zygote. This is a single cell. This is the method of formation of zygote. This is a zygote. Finally, it attains blastula. Do you understand, children? Next, tissues. What is simple tissue? A group of cells which are similar in origin, similar in structure and similar in function are called simple permanent tissue. They are of three types: parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. What are complex permanent tissues? These tissues are made up of more than one type of cells. There are two types of complex tissues. What are they? Xylem and phloem. These are the types of complex permanent tissues. Depending on the basis of their structure and function, tissues can be classified into four types: epithelial, connective, muscular and nervous. These are the types of tissues. What are they? Connective tissues. The role of connective tissues is for binding different structure of body. The role of muscular tissues is for movements and locomotion. Epithelial tissues are used for protection. Nerve tissues for conduction of nerve impulse. So, all the complex organisms consist of only four basic types of tissues. What are they? Connective tissues, epithelial tissue, muscle tissue and nerve tissues. Do you understand, children? Next, organ. Organs are structures made of two or more types of tissues organized to carry out a particular function. Example, brain, lungs, large intestine, diaphragm, liver, kidneys, stomach, small intestine, heart, pancreas, spleen, gallbladder, each of which has specific functions. Most organs are made of four types of tissues. What are they? Epithelial, muscular, connective and nerve tissues. So all organ made of these type of tissues. Let us see intestine. The intestine is made of epithelial tissue. What is the role of epithelial tissue? Epithelial tissue for production, isn't it? Yes. The inner lining which helps in enzyme secretion and nutrient absorption. Epithelial tissues is covered by layers of muscle tissue which help in the peristaltic movements to move the food. So the function of muscular tissue for movements and locomotion, isn't it? Yes. So the epithelial tissue is covered by layer of muscle tissue. This muscle tissue help in peristaltic movement to move the food. The intestine is also supplied by blood tissue, that is connective tissue. Connective tissue is helps in transporting nutrients absorbed by the intestine and is connected to the brain through the nerve tissue. The nerve tissue is convey the instruction from the brain. Do you understand, children? This is the way of method to working of organs in our body. Now let us study in detail about the structure of an eye. The eye is one of the important sensory organs in the human body. It is composed of muscular tissue, connective tissue, neutral tissue and mainly responsible for vision, differentiation of color. Students, do you know one thing? Our eye can differentiate approximately 10 to 12 million color and maintaining the biological clock of the human body. The human eye can be compared to a camera as both functions by gathering, focusing and transmitting the light through the lens for creating an image of an object. Next, structure and functions of human eye. The human eyes are the most complicated sense organ in a human body, with several parts fixed together form a spherical structure. Every part of the human eye is mainly responsible for a certain action. Every part of the human eye is mainly responsible for a certain action. The structure of a human eye can be broadly classified into two types: external structure and internal structure. External structure, the part of the eye that are visible externally, comprise of the external structure of the eye. So, what are they? Sclera, conjunctiva, cornea, iris, pupil. These are the external structure of eye. Internal structure of the eye includes the following parts. What are they? Lens, retina, optic nerve, aqueous humor, vitreous humor. Let us see one by one. First, sclera. It is a tough and thick white stage that protects the inner part of the eye. We know it as the white of the eye. Second one, conjunctiva. It is a thin transparent membrane that is spread across the sclera. It keeps the eye moist and clear by secreting small amounts of mucus and tears. Next, cornea. It is the transparent layer of membrane that is spread over the pupil and the iris. The main role of cornea is to refract the light that enters the eyes. Next, iris. This is the iris. It is a pigmented layer of tissues that make up the colored portion of the eye. See the picture. Colored portion of the eye. Its primary function is to control the size of the pupil depending on the amount of light entering it. Last one, pupil. It is a small opening located at the middle of the iris. It allows light to come in. These are the external structure of eye. Next, internal structure of an eye. First one is lens. Up to this external structure, so these are the internal structure of eye. What are they? First one is a lens. So it is a transparent biconvex and an adjustable part of an eye made of protein. The lens, with the help of the cornea, refract light focused on the retina, therefore creating images on it. Second one, retina. This is retina. It is the layer present at the back of the eye where all the images are formed here. It is the third and innermost coat of the eye, which is very sensitive to light because of the photoreceptors, that is rods and cone cell. The retina functions by converting the light rays into impulse and sending the signals to the brain. This is the main role of an eye. Right? Next, optic nerve. It is located at the end of the eyes behind the retina. The optic nerve is mainly responsible for carrying all the nerve impulse from the photoreceptors to the human brain, without which vision would not be possible. This is the function of optic nerve in our eye. Next, aqueous humor. So aqueous humor, it is a watery fluid that is present in the area between lens and the cornea. So this is the area of aqueous humor. So it is look like watery fluid, right? It is responsible for the nourishment of both the lens and the cornea. Next, vitreous body. It is a semi-solid, transparent, jelly-like substance that covers the interior portion of the eyes. It plays an important role in maintaining the shape of the eye and also causes refraction of light before it reaches the retina. These are the role of vitreous humor. Students, we will detailedly discuss about eye in our higher classes. Next, we move to organs and organ system. Students, what is organ? A group of tissues make the organ. So an organ is a combination of several types of tissues working together to perform a specific function. What is organ system? Organ system is nothing but a group of organ to make the organ system. So this organ, with respect to the human body, a system is a group of tissues and organs that perform specific functions. This is called organ system. We have some organ system. Let us see one by one. First one, cardiovascular system. Which are the organs included to this vascular system? Heart, blood vessels, that is arteries and veins, blood. These organs to form cardiovascular system. Heart, blood vessels, right? The function of cardiovascular systems are: heart pumps the blood through blood vessel. Blood carries O2 nutrients, hormones and other substances to the cells and takes away the waste and carbon dioxide from the cell. These are the functions of cardiovascular system. Next, digestive system. The mouth, salivary glands, esophagus, liver, gallbladder, stomach, pancreas, large intestine, small intestine, appendix, rectum, anus. These are the organs to form this digestive system. Another one system, nervous system. So what are the organs included in this system? Brain, spinal cord and peripheral nerves. These organs to make this nerve system, right? Functions are coordinates the body's response to changes in its internal and external environments. Next, endocrine system. Hypothalamus, pituitary, thyroid, parathyroid, adrenals, pancreas, ovaries in females, testes in male. These are the organs to form endocrine system. Functions are controls growth, development and metabolism, maintains homeostasis. Next, the respiratory system. Which are the organs to form this system? Nose, pharynx, trachea, alveoli, lungs, diaphragm. These are the organs to form this respiratory system. So our respiratory system consists of organs like trachea, bronchi, alveoli. These are the important organs in our respiratory system. So which are responsible for exchange of air between the atmosphere and the blood. Together, these organs form what is called the respiratory tract. Let us see the organs of the respiratory tract in detail. First one, nose. We inhale air through the nostril, which lead to the nasal cavity. The inner surface of this cavity is lined with cilia and mucus producing cells, which make it sticky and moist. The cilia and mucus trap dust and germs and prevent them from going deeper into the respiratory tract. The blood vessels in the nose help to warm the inhaled air. Do you understand, children? Next, the windpipe. After passing through the nasal cavity, the air enters into pharynx. Then it goes into the trachea or windpipe, which is an elastic tube extended down the length of the neck and partially into the chest cavity. Between the pharynx and the trachea lies a small air passage called the larynx, commonly known as voice box. The larynx has fold of tissues which vibrate with the passage of air to produce sound. Next, bronchi. The trachea divides into two branches called bronchi. This is upper lobe, this is lower lobe. This is heart. So left and right branches is called bronchi. Each bronchus lead to a lungs where it divides and redivides to finally form air passage called bronchulus. Next organ, lungs. The lungs are organs in the chest cavity that allows our body to make in oxygen from the air. They also help to remove carbon dioxide from the body. The lungs lie on either side of the breastbone and fill the inside of the chest cavity. The left lung is slightly smaller than the right lung to allow room for the heart. Within the lungs, each bronchiole leads to a bunch of air sacs called alveoli. So this is alveoli, right? Where oxygen moves into the blood while carbon dioxide moves into the lungs to be exhaled. The lungs are two spongy elastic bags on each side of the thoracic cavity. The thoracic cavity is bounded dorsally by the vertebral column and ventrally by the sternum, laterally by the ribs and the lower side of the dome shaped diaphragm. This is a diaphragm. Do you understand, children? Next, let us see the organ alveoli. So alveoli are tiny air sacs in the lungs that take up the oxygen we breathe in and keep your body going. So alveoli is meant for the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Do you understand, children? Let us see mechanism of breathing. This picture for breathing in, this for breathing out. So the process of taking air into the lungs is called inspiration or inhalation. So at the time of inhalation, the sternum is pushed up and outward and the diaphragm is pulled down. So that time the chest will expand and diaphragm contracts. This increase the volume of the thoracic cavity and the pressure decrease. The air outside the body flows into the lungs. Here, exchange of gases takes place between the air and the blood. This is the inhalation process in our respiratory system. Next, exhalation or expiration. The process of expelling air from the lungs is called expiration or exhalation. Upon exhalation, the lungs recoil to force the air out of the lungs. At that time, the chest contracts and diaphragm relax. Moving higher into the thoracic cavity. This increases the pressure within the thoracic cavity relative to the environment. Air rushes out of the lungs due to the pressure gradient. This movement of air out of the lungs is the passive event. Do you follow, children? What is inspiration? When the diaphragm contracts, it moves down, increasing the volume of the thoracic cavity. When the volume increases, the pressure inside decreases. Air moves from an area of higher pressure, that is the atmosphere, to an area of lower pressure, that is the lungs. Pressure within the lungs is called intrapulmonary pressure. What is exhalation? Internal intercostal muscle contract. External intercostal muscle relaxed. Rib cage moves downwards and inward. Which one is a rib cage? This is a rib cage. Diaphragm relaxes at the time of exhalation. Volume of thorax cavity decreases. Pressure in alveoli increase. Air moves out. These are the process of exhalation. Do you understand, children? Let us see difference between inspiration and expiration. So inspiration is nothing but external intercostal muscle contract. Increase in volume of thoracic cavity. Ribs swing upwards and outwards. Diaphragm contracts, flattens down. And increasing in thoracic cavity, volume reduces air pressure in the cavity and lungs. Gases expand to fill the available space, creating a partial vacuum. This forces air into the lungs. What is expiration? Internal intercostal muscle contracts. Reduction in volume of thoracic cavity. Ribs swing downwards and inward. Diaphragm is relaxed and elevated. A reduction in the volume of thoracic cavity increases air pressure. This forces air out of the lungs to equalize the pressure of the lungs with the atmosphere. These are the comparison of inspiration and expiration. Do you understand, children? Okay, students. In our next class, we will discuss about homeostasis, diffusion, osmosis, and metabolism. Right. Let us see evaluation for this session. What are unicellular organisms? Define eukaryotic cell. What is cell differentiation? State different types of tissues. Mention the function of alveoli. Students, try to find the answer for all these questions and write down in your notebook. Student, use this link for further clarification of this session. Thank you.